Uh-oh. Hello, everybody. You know why you're here. Let's just dispense with the pleasantries. This is the Voyager documentary update live show. We are here with some very special and amazing guests. First and foremost, the executive producer of 455 Films. You can't quite see him, but he is here for sure, all the way from the East Coast, Mr. David Zappone.
Hey.
Hello.
See, you heard him. And we also have, everybody knows Lolita, so let's just go ahead and say Lolita Fajo.
Yay! And my t-shirt is on.
Little context would be good there.
We'll
For anybody
there.
just listening. We also have a producer and editor of many of the documentaries, including this one, To the Journey, Mr. Joe Kornbrodt.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
His shirt is on too. My name's Ryan T.
Thank
Husk.
God.
My shirt is on. Everybody's like, where did you get those awesome shirts? Well, I don't know if they still have them, but they were on sale at Target in Van Nuys. And so, no, just kidding, of course. Lolita had these made out for us, special for the cruise, and they look amazing, right?
Yeah, they came out very good.
I don't know
Very
if you
happy.
I don't know if you want to say how we got them or who you made them through.
Actually, they were made through Chase's charity, her coalition. So it was a dual job there.
Also, everybody that got our update, they know that we also have a little sneak peek that Mr. Joe Kornbrodt prepared. He is so good to you guys. Seriously, he's always preparing these sneak peeks and these. I don't know where he finds the time, but stay tuned for that because it's really awesome. First and foremost, I just wanted to get the conversation started. This is something I was thinking about today. When we're shooting, you know, the interviews or when you're looking through the dailies, what is the overall emotion or mood that you are feeling? Not necessarily that the interviewees are conveying or the story or whatever, but is there some overall mood that you're feeling? Are you feeling excitement? Are you feeling pensiveness?
I'll start that out and then hand it to Joe. Yeah. What I was shocked at was how many people have broken down on camera, just with the pure emotion, and whether it's an emotion of nostalgia or whatever. It's just, I didn't expect this level. I've been doing these for a long time and for a lot of the shows, and I've been struck by the level of emotion that people have shown on camera. That would be my answer. Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we actually we saw Robert Beltran get emotional, not necessarily about Voyager, but he was just thinking back to early life and his early life and a theater teacher that was really important in his life, and it just kind of, I think he had the realization that, oh wow, yeah, this is not a permanent thing. All of this is temporary.
Right.
And when doing all these films, we're asking people to think back on what they were doing 25 years ago. And for the most part, people were pretty happy with it, but there is definitely everyone experiences loss in a variety of ways, and people and situations, and that comes out in those interviews.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of halfway was surprised, but not completely surprised with the emotions that came out, because I was there with him all those years, that long stretch we worked together, and it was so long ago. So my emotions always run high with these things. And if you see people that you haven't seen in a long time and you start reminiscing, and so I wasn't that surprised that there was so many tears, but the tears are good tears. They're not, it's nice to see people being comfortable enough on camera to let go like that.
Sounds like you're saying counterintuitively that the more time passes, the more emotional these memories seem to get when they bubble back up to the surface.
I think that's definitely true. in many
Wow.
ways for lots of things, but for this, it seems to be. And some of these people haven't seen each other in so long. So when we had that whole week in Los Angeles where we were filming, 4 to 7
Mhm.
people a day, and they got to overlap and see each other, that was really cool to see that dynamic. Because literally some of them hadn't seen each other in 20 plus years. So that was, I think, really something special that we all got to witness.
And we had Karen Westerfield was doing makeup for that shoot. And, it was just, everybody walked in and there's Jonathan West, who we're working with, he's our DP consultant, and we have Karen Westerfield there. So people feel like they were walking back into a Star Trek set.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and as you'll see, we we interviewed people from other shows, of course, from Star Trek. So it's pretty exciting, and you'll get to see some of those people pop up, maybe even in the sneak peek. Who knows? Who knows what shows brought to us today?
Teasing the sneak peek.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since you're teasing it already, everybody in the live chat right now, let us know what you want to see first. Do you want to see the sneak peek that Joe made, or do you want to see some of the completed perks that will be shipped out as soon as we can? That's the question. Perks or peak? It's going to take a few seconds for these to come out. But everybody in the live chat, it's awesome to see how excited people still are. A lot of times there's like a movement, everybody, they get behind something, and then a year passes and they're like, oh yeah, that thing, that's cool, but everybody is just like super excited. Okay, all right.
Before you do that, Ryan, I want to shout out to a couple people that have helped us with the doc. One, I saw Melissa Longo's on there, and she was helped with the art department for us on the Burbank shoot that we had last year. So thank you, Melissa, and thanks for admiring the cool posters. I got another one over there too that I love.
Nice.
But and then I saw that Kieran McGreevy's also on there and says hello. And Kieran has helped us with all the documentaries. But he was very instrumental on the cruise, worked very closely with us, and he ran some camera for us and just did his usual magic. So thank you, Kieran. And
there he is. I see him,
welcome back from Disney World.
Comments. So if I hit this YouTube link, will it take me to the comments?
Yes,
it will. But you gotta mute the YouTube window, otherwise you're gonna get feedback.
Okay, never mind. I'll just go with you guys repeating things.
I mean, if you guys want to go super meta, we can do this. Here are the comments.
Oh, wow. It looks like people want to see the perk.
No. Look at how many people are saying sneak peek. Oh, one perks, Kimber Spores.
That's great.
Peek.
I guess
it's neck and neck.
The sneak peek is a perk of watching this.
That's right. So it's a perky peek.
And we'll definitely talk about the cruise a little later. And Kieran was, like Joe said, instrumental with that. So, Joe, do you want to show the thing, the sneak peek, or do you want me to? I got it pulled up.
I think you should probably do it.
Okay. I think I've got it pulled up here. Yep. Here it comes, everybody. Live and in stereo, maybe, depending on what you're doing at home.
Robbie Vanille, take one. Mark.
Oh, hi. Good to see you. Didn't hear you come in.
I believe the first mention of Voyager and my being involved in the creation of it came from Rick Berman.
Michael Piller and I decided that it would be great to have Jerry join us because we wanted to have a female captain. And the thought was it would be great to have a female creator and executive producer as well.
Now, the truth is, Rick Berman and Michael Piller did not need me to create Voyager, but they perceived that they did because they wanted a woman. For once, being a woman worked in my favor.
I think my contribution was pushing them to cast Geneviève Bujold.
Oh, Geneviève. Oh, how I miss thee, Geneviève. Well, you know, one of the things that made me want to be on the show was Geneviève Bujold would be the captain.
And I think it was just a handful of days before that just hit a brick wall.
So there I was on the bridge with Rick Colby at the helm, directing. He said, "This is your living room. This is yours. It belongs to you." And I walked out, and by God, it did. And they were all on the lip of the stage, the brass, like this, staring at me. And they continued to do that, Lolita, for the entire first season. I said, "You're not gonna win, boys. So you're welcome to come, but I'm gonna win." And I did.
Being on a series in the 90s, I was the only Asian male series regular. The only Asian male series regular on television. That's kind of shocking if you think about that. You're like, what? Is that real? Yeah.
When Jennifer got fired, all of a sudden, the possibility that this is not going to be a 7-year run for any of us was real. And all the things that come with being on a hit TV show for 7 years and the knowledge that the studio is behind it running for 7 years, all of that went away for all of us. Didn't feel as safe anymore.
It was sad to see Jennifer leave. Jennifer had a soulful quality about her. There was a beautiful quality about her. But you got Jerry Ryan to replace. She was a great addition to the show.
The Vulcan characters, people always assume that they don't have emotions. Actually, they have a tremendous amount of emotions. The character's culture almost destroyed itself because of their emotions. When you play them, you want to just barely see what's under the surface, and you know it's there.
All the Starfleet cast, they all have to be stalwart, brave, and true, but I got to play all these negative characteristics that the audience weren't used to see coming out of a Starfleet officer. I could be cowardly, I could be self-involved, I could be completely pompous and overblown. And then in the clutch, I could do my job well.
I think what really contributes to our unique chemistry on Voyager is that everyone has a sense of humor. Everybody is very funny. They have fabulous and unique senses of humor.
You don't know how to do a soundbite. You know what a soundbite is?
Why should I know how to do a soundbite? I don't have to pimp anything. My stuff speaks for itself.
No,
I don't have to promote it. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why, when I can rely on you to do it so well?
Okay, there you go. Okay, so in other words, as he did on Voyager for 7 years, he's riding my coattails.
That's right.
And happily.
And happily,
and
indeed.
freely, and doesn't even hide
He
it.
does all the work. I just scoot along next to him, and I get some of the credit.
And no, you take all of the credit.
Well,
Captain Janeway and Chakotay were getting so close, and then she saw a monkey and forgot all about me.
He was a very attractive man, Robert Beltran. Kind and funny and a wonderful guy. But I think he found it dispiriting that, maybe not that we didn't have a romance, I don't think he cared about that so much as that the relationship between Chakotay and Janeway did not really intensify.
I remember walking in one morning and Kate was already sitting in the captain's chair and we all came out and we were all there for the first rehearsal of the day, and Kate looks at all of us and she says,
"So, who got laid this weekend?"
when I play a role, I always have a secret that I have, and nobody knows it but me, but I can say it now. But my secret was that Neelix was in love with the captain. So if you watch the scenes, you'll notice that whenever she's talking, I'm just like gazing at her. It's just something I had, and I told her later on after we finished filming and stuff.
Rick Berman, I said to him that very first day, I said, "Hey Rick, by the way, I just want you to know I want to direct. And he sort of laughed like you're laughing right now. He laughed and he said, sure, maybe, season 5 or 6 or something. And I said, no, I want to direct this season.
Oh yeah, this one. Meld. It was a chance to be able to break out of the Tuvok mode and to work as an actor, which I actually trained to do, to show a range of emotions.
I'm a admirer and an acolyte of Gene Roddenberry's. I remember his telling me that the Starship Enterprise was a metaphor for Starship Earth, and the strength of this starship is its diversity coming together. We didn't have a woman as the captain. So to see that finally in the Voyager was wonderful to see Gene Roddenberry's vision being filled in more in detail.
Wow.
Yay.
Wow. I could watch that for 2 hours, maybe on loop.
So I was reading the comments as that was being shown, and apparently we left out a couple people. Well, we didn't leave them out. We haven't filmed them yet. You might have noticed that Jerry Ryan and Roxanne Dawson aren't in that video. But I just want to address this now so you all know we do have plans to interview them in the coming months. But both of them have been working on productions. Roxanne was has been out of the country, and Jerry was on a closed set for many months that was actually shut down a couple times because of COVID outbreaks. So just know we're working on it, guys. Everybody will be represented in either through interviews or by others reminiscing. And when I say that, we're primarily talking about Jennifer Lean, who we probably won't be able to get, but we'll see what we can do.
I also wanted to say, because I don't see the comments, but for some of you that don't know, because their names were not on the sneak peek, that was Jerry Taylor, the one and only wonderful Jerry Taylor, and Rick Berman and Brandon Braga, because not everybody's familiar with what they look like. So I think I just wanted to clarify that in case anybody wasn't sure who they
And
were.
we've got a lot of the behind the scenes
Yes.
that we've interviewed weren't in that. And also, half of the Paramount executive team at the time. We've gone deep, very, very, very deep into the production.
Well, if you haven't seen the comments, they are very positive and very plentiful. There's a lot of OMGs, always in capital letters, just to let us know that they mean it. I got two big things out of that. Number one is that Kate Mulgrew said Robert Beltran was an attractive man. And I just want to say right here on the record, he is still a very attractive man and everybody knows it.
Great head of hair. I got to say that.
Yes, well, they just saw him as he looks today. So
and the smoothest voice in television.
Yeah.
I want him so badly to do those. What are those audio books? If he reads Star Trek audiobooks, that's now. The other thing was, it is now Star Trek canon. Neelix loves Janeway. That's it. It's official. So all the JNs out there, go get them.
It's funny when Picardo's talking about how he's able to, be pompous, all the different emotions. I remember at the time when I first watched Voyager first run, I thought he was like Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. Am I alone in that? But he really had that kind of, he was definitely not a Starfleet officer. What you would expect. But yeah, that was just my thing, I guess. I guess I'm dating myself by bringing up Dr. Smith.
No, you're dating me too, Dave. I agree with you. Yep.
Another little tidbit in Kate's interview, you might have noticed behind her was the Admiral Janeway uniform from the Endgame that Admiral Janeway wore. that's one of, I think, only two, Dave, that exist.
I believe, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was Jason, one of the tour promoters of Destination Star Trek. Yeah, that was from his personal collection.
Rob Cam 23 asks, how about Scarlett Palmers, who played Naomi Wildman?
We tried.
Man, we sure hope so, but yeah,
we did reach
tried.
out.
We've
Yeah,
tried different ways to get in touch, but
several.
Some people don't want to be found. I've found in this process, or even booking conventions, which is what I do, as you know. Some actors just don't want to be part of it, and that's their, that's fine. So, but it would be nice to have her, but we've definitely tried, you guys.
No. Yeah, well, we, and to us also as filmmakers of the, making these films, we do talk to a lot of the people behind the scenes in the art departments. We spoke to Rick Sternbach, we spoke to Doug Drexler, we spoke with Mike and Deesna Okuda. We interviewed them, I should say. All these people are on camera, talking about Daryl Baskin, who was one of the editors of Voyager, as well as Deep Space Nine and TNG. So we spoke to Michael Westmore. We really, it's not just the actors that make the show; it's the writers and the producers and the crews, the various departments. To us, all of that is compelling. So.
We spoke to one of the production assistants that one of the PAs that was fired. we got Aaron. Yeah.
That's something that always really jumps out, is just how interesting the stories are that come from people that were not in front of the camera. Like, as Star Trek fans, we all, Lolita, better than anybody, the fans just want to see Tuvok. They want to see Captain Janeway. They want to see Weyoun, right? But honestly, and by the way, that sneak peek just confirms how funny all of them are. You're right. They're all so funny and they're brilliant at what they do. But the behind the scenes people, they have such interesting and intricate stories that only they would know. They were never interviewed by Time Magazine. They were never on the cover of anything. They were just listening, they were experiencing, and getting interviews from them is just gold. It's just been amazing.
Absolutely. People still want to hear me talk on stage after 30 years. I don't understand it, but I'm glad to be doing it.
They loved it on the cruise, Lolita. You were a rock star. So,
Yay.
You are a rock star.
In my t-shirt. See, there we go.
That's right. I saw somebody, some people asked if we would had any special guest stars on that we interviewed. Martha Hackett comes to mind right off the bat as someone, and then Scott
McDonald.
What's Scott McDonald, who was
Tusk, right?
Well, he was Tusk on
Deep Space Nine.
But he was he was in the pilot episode on the bridge. He's one of the few actors that got to work with Geneviève Bujold on the pilot.
That's right. That's right.
Let's not leave out George Takei, maybe the biggest guest star of all.
Yeah.
Just saw on the sneak peek. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the was it the 20th or the 30th anniversary of Star Trek? No, it was the 25th anniversary.
No, it would have been the 30th. 90.
It would have been the 30th.
Yeah.
96. Right. It was the 90. Yeah.
You guys notice how the mood of the set changed that day when George Takei walked on? Suddenly everybody's like, oh my God. All right, George is here. How's my and he walks in and he's so nice and so friendly, and there's really, obviously he's not the kind of person that walks around and expects everybody to be, act this way and talk to him this way. He's just such a friendly and likable guy, but you're still like, okay, this is George Takei, everybody. Right.
And he talked about everything. I mean, I even asked him about the Howard Stern show, and he gave us the whole, oh my.
And then all day, everybody on set's practicing their oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Are there other questions, Ryan?
Yeah, let's see. Not a lot of questions. It's just a lot of people, a lot of exclamation points, not a lot of question marks. But go ahead and throw out your question marks. Chess says any guest stars to be interviewed, but I think we kind of started to answer that already. Any
And
others?
it's possible. I mean, we might get other guest stars before we're done.
We have one of our favorite Ferengis who did a little bit on Voyager, and he'd even forgotten.
That's right.
Armin.
That's right. Yeah, we had Armin.
And we got a famous Cardassian who was behind the camera on Voyager, who
oh, that's right. Who directed episode, a couple episodes of Voyager, or actually one.
One, I think, yeah.
One. Yeah. Andy Robinson, everyone's favorite Cardassian tailor.
Yeah,
well, you know, I had actually forgotten about Armin being in Voyager as well. And then I think it was Joe said it to me, told me, he's like, Armin, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. He's like, you know, he was in the pilot. I was like, oh yeah. I kind of had to take my nerd card away for a couple of days, but Joe was gracious enough to give it back. But he's like, but don't let it happen again.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's, if people forget, you know, Voyager starts its voyage leaving Deep Space Nine. That's why they were the closest Federation ship that was able to go into the Badlands to deal with the Maquis.
But yeah, there's
and we
some
know
people
what happened next.
That may not have been necessarily guest stars, but like recurring characters, some like Alice Krigo, and as you mentioned, Martha Hackett.
We did get Alice.
Right.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot about Alice. Yep, we got her.
She's amazing. All right.
Joe, I see somebody's asking. A few people have been asking about HD clips. That's our plan: is to remaster to go back to the film negatives and scan them and hopefully master them in not in HD but 4K would be ideal. But we have to make the film first and figure out the clips that we're going to use. So that's one of the last things that will be done in the film. You know, we frequently use clips of the show to illustrate points or, you know, show characters, you know, who they are. And anyways, so yes, the plan is, and we've committed actually to all you people that we plan to remaster the footage. So, and CBS, they are Paramount Plus, as I think all things now are Paramount Plus. They are on board for that as well. So until we're told we can't, we're going under the assumption that we can.
That's right.
Famous last words. Do you want to show off some awesome perks now?
Oh, perks.
Some physical perks, that is. We've been fulfilling a lot of the...
I've got this cutie right here, but that's not what you're talking about.
How long will it last in shipping?
So, so pick a postcard, any postcard.
These are gorgeous.
These are our postcards that were designed by Christian and David in Germany, the gentleman behind the DS9 teasers videos, and they did a lot of the 3D animation on What We Left Behind, and they designed these for us. So there's a set of 10 postcards that many of you will be receiving, and so these are the pretty cool designs. Wow. And they will also be in a digital form, so you can print out even more if you wanted to, and or use them as wallpapers and screensavers. And so yeah,
some of you might have got these on the cruise. We brought a handful.
Yeah, we were handing them out to as some free swag. Many of you who backed us on day one, thank you. You'll be getting one of these cool day one pins.
Yes. Can you hold them up a little bit longer, Joe? Because I know people
Sure.
right now are like looking at the timestamp. They're like, okay, 30 minutes in. When this is over, I'm going to go back and pause this video.
There we go.
Amazing.
It's day one. We have actually two of these, one's silver and one's gold. This is the more exclusive gold challenge coin.
Cool.
Wow.
But it's the same design. It's just one is a gold and one is a platinum or silver looking one. And then some of you, I believe, would have gotten this bonus pin, which is a Borg 7, fully Borgified. And how you would have gotten that, I believe, is if you bought, if you donated and received as a reward the full kit, the pin set. Is that right, Ryan? I forget the. So this is one.
Sorry, I was reading J.R. Poole, noticing Lolita's Steelers glass, and yes, it is. It is J.R. Poole. You are correct. He's a big fan as well. But sorry, what was your question, Joe?
So the bonus 7 of 9 as a Borg, was that how?
Yeah,
how
that comes with a complete set.
So if you just bought a set of 5, you'd have to buy the one set with pin set 2 of 3 that has 7 / Annika. But
I'm just glad we got Lon Suter in there.
Yeah,
Grima Wormtongue himself.
that's right. And we also got Aaron Eisenberg as
Carr.
I forget Carr. Yes, thank you. That great episode with Chakotay. So these are the majority of our physical perks.
We also have.
If you look behind me, all these boxes here, those are all contain what I just showed you here. So just know that they're coming.
Joe's a hoarder, by the way.
I am a hoarder. There's a couple of higher profile perks, physical perks that we are still waiting on. The t-shirts we should be getting within hopefully the next 6 weeks, and our Janeway coffee mugs. Those are been manufactured in China, and a couple of things have happened. The month of February was the whole month is Chinese New Year, so all the factories shut down. So we were delayed by that, and then if you've read the news lately,
lockdowns.
The other thing that's going on, besides the big one that everybody's concerned about, is that in China there's been an uptick in COVID, and so that's actually closed some factories and stopped some trucking. So we've had communication with the factory in China, and they told us early April they would be done with the manufacturing process, and then of course it has to get to us. So we don't have an exact timetable when it'll be here, but we're ready for them to say, hey, pay us the rest of the money and we'll ship them to you. So as soon as that happens, as soon as that we get that word, we will do that, and then we can resolve most of our major fulfillment for you guys.
Just to be clear for everybody listening in, we're not holding the money hostage. We're waiting until they're done manufacturing. Once they say, okay, these are ready to ship, then they invoice us. We pay them the rest and they ship them out. And I was checking up on China the other day, and it's true that their COVID numbers have spiked to the highest level since February of 2020.
Yeah,
it was like super high, and then it dropped for 2 years, and now it's. And a couple more things. We have some deep cuts. These were the perks that it was part of a it was part of a stretch goal that we achieved thanks to the fans. These are deep cuts for your kitchens. It is a Neelix chef's hat and Leola root. They are magnets, and you'll know if there's a Star Trek fan in your house if they go, "Is that a Leola root?" It's going to be rare, but they're a true Star Trek fan if they say that.
I have a question. Again, since I can't see the comments. How many of you or anybody coming on the away missions with us in May? Because we're really working on those. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of great talent and actors coming to join us on some of those, and it's going to be really a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it. So I hope we'll see some of you there.
Yeah,
So-
surely we'll let them speak up in the comments. I do want to say that Yvette Blackman says, I am ready for my Voyager goodie box. She is very, very ready. So yeah, you want to talk about the away missions a little bit? JM says dinner. That's going to be on the first night.
Yep, Tuesday night dinner. We've got Connor Trenier, Nicole DeBoer, Dominic Keating attending, amongst others. So that will be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to Vasquez Rocks. I was talking to Larry Nemechek, who, by the way, I want to throw a shout out, thank you to Larry. He's been so helpful to us, and he's actually at my house this weekend, he and his lovely wife, Janet. But I have not been to Vasquez Rocks in 25 years myself. And I used to go and, take people up there. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all of it, but some of the stuff
I've never been to Vasquez Rocks.
Oh, really?
I've worked on projects that filmed at Vasquez Rocks. I've driven by Vasquez Rocks.
But you've never gotten out and done the
Yeah,
thing.
I've been there. I've climbed that rock. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Fun.
You can actually climb. Yeah, right where
Yeah.
Kirk.
There's
I've gone back
another
to the
set
original series.
There's another set of rock formations off the 118 in like Canoga Park area that would some Star Trek would film there as well. And I've been there. I've
right off the freeway, right? You could see it
right
from
off the freeway. Yeah. I've been there a bunch. I've filmed stuff there, and I've just gone hanging out there.
I've been there before. What if they shot there for Star Trek?
I don't know specifically. I know that they filmed there. They filmed a lot of shows there because it was so close.
Yeah, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and back in the 60s when they were filming out there, there wasn't nearly as many homes out there. It was a lot of more ranches and farms, orange groves out there.
We got to consider that 118 one too in Canoga Park. Paging Larry Nemechek, he'll know, right?
Also, Ryan, have you sent out a blast about the concert that Tim put together for everyone on Friday night?
No.
Is that supposed to be secret?
No, we might as well say it right now. Everybody that's doing the away missions, we have a bonus additional special treat for all of you. Tim Russ will be playing that week in Hollywood, and it'll be like a field trip. Yeah, we'll all go and support and cheer him on. And let me tell you, if you have not been to a Tim Russ crew concert, it is so fun. And that guy has more soul in him than all of Idaho. Just kidding. I love you, Idaho. But he's right. I mean, he's amazing.
Yes,
I see an angry face from Idaho.
Tim did this just out of the kindness of his heart. We were on the cruise, and he just said, let me do this. What are the dates again? And it's also at a very famous place in Hollywood. So, which is an extra bonus too. Yeah. At the famous Cantor's Deli. So
yeah, the bar attached to Cantor's, the Kibitzer.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he's doing that just for the fans. You guys are getting an extra bonus. There might be a couple other little bonus things that we're trying to throw in. And that's what I'm most looking forward to with the away missions is just, it's going to feel like a convention. It's going to be, 5 or 7 or 8 days of just hanging out with Star Trek fans and doing Star Trek stuff.
I'd say it feels more like a cruise than a convention when you talk about that many days. It's a long convention, but it will be fun.
And Dave's going to be showing people around. What are you most looking forward to, Dave, in the away missions?
Probably Casey in Paso. That whole thing is going to be fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's Paso Robles. Casey Biggs lives there. He and the Enterprise Blues Band are doing the performance for
Yep, and
you
Vaughn
guys.
and Steve, yep.
Yeah. So, and lots of good wine.
That was a Lolita creation, you guys. Lolita was like, do you think fans, Star Trek fans, would want to hang out with Casey Biggs at a winery, drink wine, in the springtime, and watch the Enterprise Blues Band play a show, and just kind of hang? Is that it? And we're like, yeah, Star Trek fans would love that. And they got swept up in like 5 hours.
Quickly. Same thing with like the party before the cruise. That was a really good thing we did, and that got bought up quickly. So thanks to all of you guys for donating so generously too, by the way. Couldn't be doing this without you.
Definitely.
Speaking of which, we only have a couple minutes left. Do you guys have any final thoughts or things that you'd like to put out there to the fans that are watching right now and have been so supportive for about a year now?
Yeah. I think Rick said, thank you again.
Yeah. We were just on the cruise, and we had a Voyager panel, and we were going up against the Discovery panel that was going on, which, they're in a big theater, 1,400 people in that theater. And, we were in the B stage, which is fine. It was nice. And I would thought there'd be maybe 50 people there, and there were a few hundred people there. So, so that was pretty amazing to me. Thank you for your enthusiasm and support, those of you that were there. And I think that's just indicative of, this whole campaign that we had to raise money to make this film, and, the records we broke, all of it, is because of you. So, thank you. We love making this content, and we love that you seem to love watching it. So as long as we can keep doing it and you keep wanting to watch it, we'll do it.
Mm-hmm. And real quick on that subject, I know Dave's definitely got something to say, but on that subject, can we just give a big shout out to ECP and the people at the cruise that were so good to us, and really their hospitality and they're great to work with. We really appreciate them, right?
And this is our second cruise with them. They've been so generous to the documentary. So it's been wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So our leader, Dave, what do you want to wrap up?
Yeah, for me, just it's been the scope of this journey. Building that incredible set in Burbank, essentially a replica of Voyager's holodeck, to going to London, the cruises, where Joe, I guess maybe we'll tease, but I'm not going to say exactly where Joe is going.
Garrett said it on stage.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, then it's the scope of this thing. It's for a documentary. This is becoming like a production schedule of a feature film. It's pretty amazing.
Jonathan, for what they're all alluding to is Jonathan West and myself are going to meet Garrett in Bordeaux, France. And then we're going to go to Nova Space, who work with the European Space Agency. And we're going to have Garrett go up on a 0G flight, and he's going to do some free floating. He might have some space vehicles with him that you might recognize. And he's going to talk to some scientists that are conducting experiments, because, Voyager was a science vessel, and so they conducted experiments, and Garrett's going to go up on a science vessel that's conducting experiments that will hopefully one day lead to a Voyager type ship.
And this is nothing that was just set up, Joe, that we're filming. We put this together because the European Space Agency reached out to us and said, we want to help with this documentary. So it's not like this is just something Garrett was going to do and we're tagging along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way so many people are like, you're making a Voyager documentary. How can we help? And we're like, well, since you offered.
Well, it's so wonderful, there's so many people in the sciences and a lot of them that work at NASA and the European Space Agency that are just such big fans of Star Trek, of all Star Trek. But many of them love Voyager specifically, and they're fans, and they've come forward to help us. And I also want to give a shout out to Pete Bisrig at SanDisk, who we've done some panels for SanDisk / Western Digital, but they were big supporters of us as well, and they donated hard drives for us to store all this footage that we've been filming. So I just want to give them a shout out, and you can see some of those panels that Luke and myself have done for B&H on their B&H site or their Facebook page. But yeah, SanDisk, awesome. Can't make this film without storage, and they make great storage. So thank you.
That's true. The storage, it's just like mountains of storage. Dr. Mohammed Noor says the Voyager panel on the cruise was great. A lot of people are echoing those sentiments. I also want to give a shout out to the tip of the spear, Mr. David Zappone, because he continues to make these documentaries that the fans love. I myself love, and it's kind of humbling to know that there's somebody out there that's just like on a mission to just keep making the best Star Trek documentary films the world, nay, the quadrant has ever seen. And I just want to thank you, Dave Zappone, from the fans for always doing that.
Yes.
Dave, thank
Nice
you.
to say.
And
Yeah.
thank you for bringing me along on the journey.
To the journey.
To the journey.
In my
Sorry, Cerulean Blue says, OMG, have fun on the vomit comet. I think that's in reference to
That's what NASA calls it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't think the ESA likes to refer to it as the vomit comet, but that's exactly what it is.
If I was maybe a decade younger, I would have loved to have gone on it. But at this point, I'm happy that Garrett's going on it. Jonathan and I are going to stay on the ground, and we'll be there with cameras to get his reaction as he comes off.
As he gets off, yeah.
And yeah.
And he'll be up there for what, Joe? It's like over an hour, right? 90 minutes?
It's like, I think it's like 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's even longer.
Maybe almost 3 hours. It takes about a half hour for them to take off and get up
to level off.
And then they do 30 parabolas, where they go up and then they dive down, and then that dive down for about a minute and 20 seconds is the.
I need to get some
0G.
Dramamine before you finish that sentence, man.
Yeah, and then and then they level off at the bottom, and then I guess that's when there's like double gravity, so it's like instead of 0G, you're like stuck to the floor. And they go back up. Yeah.
One final thing. I know we got to run, but there's something that I said we would go back to, and I forgot to bring it back. But Joe, can we just give a special thank you to the people that helped shoot footage on the Star Trek cruise? Katie, Kieran.
Oh yeah. Well, Katie Wicker, Kieran McGreevy, who are our camera people, and Katie was also helping us produce. My wonderful wife, Allison Crease, who was doing sound and also helping me produce and keeping me sane as I can be. So they were great, and we want to shout, and Lolita and Diane Troop, who was helping Lolita but also helped us. Right? So we want to give a shout out to them, and then we want to give a shout out to Entertainment Cruise Productions and Chris and Joey there, and I know there's other people that Lolita, you can fill in, but we couldn't have done it without them. And want to thank John Van Sitters at Paramount Plus, and all the people that have helped facilitate all the stuff that we're doing, make it easy for us. We can't really do it without them as well. So thank you all.
Absolutely. Yes.
Great. Awesome. So hopefully Kieran didn't leave like 5 minutes ago saying, hey, they said they were going to come back to me. I'm leaving. Well, Kieran was awesome.
His head's going to be this big now.
Anyway, So we got to run, but David Zappone, Lolita Faggio, Joe Kornbrot, and the entire team for the Voyager documentary. We want to thank everybody at home watching and supporting. Just keep liking and retweeting and watching Voyager, and pretty soon you're going to keep getting some updates. They're going to make you more and more and more excited. And a lot of people are talking about the vomit comet, but we're moving on, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you to Ryan for putting this all together today.
Yes, Ryan.
Every time
Thank
you
you,
do
Ryan.
this event. So thank you so much.
And I
pleasure.
left out a big shout out. Ryan was on the cruise with us as well, and
Yes.
Ryan helped immensely. So
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Survived.
Good time.
Yeah,
It was a good time. Oh, yeah.
And
I
Ryan,
still
thank
haven't
you.
recovered.
Me
Thank
either.
you for spreading the word. You've been spreading the word, and we thank you for that.
Thanks, Dave. All right. So everybody at home is like, are they just like one big happy family? Gross. And we're like, yeah, sorry. Anyway.
That's what Star Trek knows.
Yeah, totally. All right. So we got to run. Everybody stay tuned. The very next video after this, which is starting in a few minutes, is a panel discussion with Lolita, myself, Sirach, and you may have heard of him, Mr. Garrett Wong and Megan Elise, half of the Delta Flyers, will be joining us to talk about the Voyager documentary, talking about Voyager itself, talking about the Delta Flyers and podcasting. It's going to be great. That's up next. Check the description box of this video for that link. Just click the link and it'll be right there. It's so easy. Anyway, thanks very much, Joe, Lolita, and Dave. Everybody at home, we will see you next time. Thank you so much for the support. We talk about you all the time and how much we love you. See you around.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Cool. We did it.
All right.